Have you ever been at a social gathering and wondered what the people around you are really thinking? Have you ever wished you had the ability to read their minds and understand their true intentions and feelings? Imagine being able to decipher the mystery behind a smile, a fleeting glance, or a handshake. Today I invite you on a fascinating journey through 23 psychological tricks that will allow you to read people instantly and use this skill to your advantage. Welcome to The Stoic Path. Discover the secrets of Stoicism and reach your maximum potential. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Don't miss it, the journey is just beginning. Not only will it transform your daily interactions, but it will also give you a new perspective on human behavior. I'm going to share with you real stories that illustrate how these tricks can be applied in everyday situations. From job interviews to family dinners, each story will give you a clear and practical insight into how to interpret and react to nonverbal cues. Eye contact. Imagine Marta, a young professional in a job interview. When the interviewer asks her questions, she maintains firm, confident eye contact. At the end of the interviewer comments that her confidence was one of the highlights. However, during a meeting with her team, Marta notices that one of her colleagues, Juan, constantly avoids her gaze. When speaking to him in private, she discovers that Juan feels insecure about his abilities on the project. Thus, Marta learns that eye contact not only reveals confidence but also insecurities. Eyebrows. Laura was on a date with Carlos and noticed that he raised his eyebrows whenever she talked about her work. Although she initially thought Carlos was interested, she realized that his stories did not warrant surprise, concern, or fear. Finally, Carlos confessed that he felt intimidated by Laura's professional success. This experience taught Laura that eyebrows can reveal discomfort or insecurity beyond what is obvious. The smile. At a party, Andres met Sofia, who was constantly smiling. However, Andres noticed that her eyes had no wrinkles when she smiled, which made him doubt her sincerity. Later, he discovered that Sofia was going through a difficult breakup and was using her smile to hide her sadness. This situation taught Andres that a genuine smile always involves the eyes, and the absence of these signals can indicate hidden feelings. What they say. During a family gathering, Carmen listened to her cousin Raul rave about his friends and colleagues. Remembering this psychological trick, Carmen deduced that Raul was probably a kind and generous person. On another occasion, she observed a co-worker, Anna, constantly criticizing others. Anna proved to be problematic and difficult to deal with. These experiences helped Carmen become more confident in her ability to judge a person's character based on how they talk about others. The direction of laughter. At a dinner with friends, Pedro noticed that when Laura, a friend of the group, laughed, she always looked at Marcos. Observing this, Pedro deduced that Laura had a special connection with Marcos. Later, Laura confessed that she had feelings for him. This incident taught Pedro to observe the direction of laughter to identify emotional connections in a group. Paralanguage. During a discussion with her boss, Anna noticed that he used a monotone when talking about a specific project. This made her realize that her boss was not interested in that particular project. Using this information, Anna changed her approach and managed to capture his interest. This experience taught her that paying attention to paralanguage can be crucial to interpreting a person's true intentions. A side glance. At a party, Luisa noticed that every time she spoke to a new friend, he looked away to the side. Intrigued, she decided to investigate further and discovered that he was uncomfortable at large social gatherings. This observation helped him understand his friend better and made him feel more comfortable in future interactions. A frequent nod. Mark, a teacher, noticed that one of his students, Javier, was constantly nodding during lessons. At first, he thought Javier understood the material well, but then he realized that Javier was eager to get his approval. Marcos began to give Javier more individual support, which improved his confidence. This incident showed Marcos that frequent nodding can be a sign of approval seeking. Chin and jaw. During a business meeting, Clara noticed her colleague, Robert, rubbing his chin as they discussed a proposal. Clara decided to give him more time to think, and sure enough, Robert came up with an excellent idea later on. On another occasion, she noticed her boss's jaw clenched during a discussion about a tight deadline. Clara suggested breaking the work down into more manageable chunks, which lightened her boss's load. These experiences taught Clara the importance of observing subtle gestures to better manage situations. Posture. When Marta first met her new boss, she noticed that he walked upright with his shoulders back, projecting confidence. However, during a crisis at the office, she saw him hunched over and staring at the floor, which indicated stress. Marta offered her help, and together they solved the problem. This experience taught her that a person's posture can be a key indicator of their emotional state and level of confidence. Rubbing hands. At a planning meeting, Laura noticed her colleague rubbing his hands together as they discussed a new project. Understanding that this could be a sign of enthusiasm, Laura decided to give him more responsibility for the project. The result was a success, confirming his suspicion that his colleague was excited and engaged. A handshake. During a conference, Anna met several new people. She noticed that some gave a soft handshake, which she interpreted as submission or shyness. Others gave a strong, commanding handshake. By the end of the day, Anna adjusted the way she interacted with each person based on their handshake, improving her connections and leaving a positive impression. Shoes. At a company dinner, Pedro observed his colleagues' shoes. He noticed that those who had impeccable shoes tended to be more meticulous and detail-oriented in their work. Those with comfortable but worn-out shoes were more relaxed and creative. This observation helped him to better understand his colleagues and work more effectively with them. General appearance. During a job interview, Laura noticed that the candidate showed up with a well-pressed suit and perfectly coiffed hair, which indicated that he was someone who was detail-oriented and organized. On another occasion, a candidate came in looking more casual and relaxed, suggesting creativity. Both impressions were correct, and Laura learned to judge the first impression based on overall appearance. Body language imitation. At a gathering of friends, Anna noticed that her friend Martha imitated her body language. Every time Anna crossed her legs, Martha did the same. This signaled to Anna that Marta felt comfortable and in tune with her. This unconscious gesture strengthened their friendship and taught Anna to look more closely for these cues in her social interactions. Cell phone use. At a family dinner, Pedro noticed that his cousin Clara was constantly looking at her phone. Initially, he thought she was bored, but then Clara explained that she was waiting for an important call. On another occasion, his friend Juan put away his phone and focused completely on the conversation, showing attention and respect. These experiences taught Pedro not to rush to judgment and to consider the context before interpreting cell phone use. Lip sucking. During a tense meeting, Marta noticed her colleague Luis repeatedly sucking his lips. Understanding that this could be a sign of anxiety, Marta decided to approach him in a more understanding way, offering additional support to relieve his stress. This observation improved the team dynamic and showed Marta the importance of reading these subtle cues. Repetitive motions. During a job interview, Clara noticed the candidate fidgeting with a ring. Understanding this as a sign of stress, Clara attempted to create a more relaxed environment by asking less formal questions. This helped the candidate calm down and present himself more authentically, teaching Clara the importance of observing and reacting to repetitive movements. Breathing changes. During a presentation, Anna noticed that her boss began breathing more rapidly when an important issue was mentioned. Recognizing this as a sign of anxiety, Anna approached the topic more carefully and proposed practical solutions, which helped calm the situation. This experience taught Anna to pay attention to changes in breathing to adjust her approach in stressful situations. Avoidance moves. In a heated argument, Peter noticed his friend Mark crossing his arms and moving away slightly. Understanding that this indicated resistance, Peter decided to tone down the conversation and use a more empathetic approach. This helped reconnect and resolve the conflict, showing Peter the importance of recognizing and reacting to avoidance moves. Using personal space. At a party, Marta noticed that her friend Laura kept a considerable distance from people. Laura later explained to her that she needed more personal space because of her social anxiety. On another occasion, her friend Juan inappropriately invaded her personal space, and Marta had to set clear boundaries. These experiences taught Marta to respect and understand others' needs for personal space. Dilated pupils. During a date, Anna noticed that her date's pupils dilated whenever he talked about his passions. This indicated to her that he was interested and excited about the conversation. In another situation, she noticed that her friend's pupils contracted when he was stressed. These observations helped Anna better understand others' emotions and adapt her communication accordingly. Unconscious foot movements. At a work meeting, Peter noticed his colleague Martha moving her feet nervously. Recognizing this as a sign of anxiety, Peter decided to approach the situation in a calmer and more understanding manner, which helped reduce Martha's stress. This incident taught Peter to pay attention to the subtle movements of the feet to better understand a person's emotional state. Reading people is no easy task, but with these psychological tricks and real-life stories, you'll be well on your way to improving this skill. Remember that everyone is different, and while these tips can help you, it's always important to get to know the person beyond first impressions. Want to delve deeper into Stoic wisdom? Don't miss our next video where we explore how to apply the principles of Stoicism in daily life. Click now and transform your perspective.